Hello and welcome to your Vedic Lunar Scope for the 9th of May 2015. The moon today is in the latter stages of Capricorn and in the nakshatra, also called lunar mansion, of Uttara Ashadha. Now, if you remember yesterday, the moon was in Purva Ashadha. Purva Ashadha means the former victory. Uttara Ashadha means the latter victory. There's an energy today where you're likely in the midst of holding on to something, some ideal, or maybe even someone too intensively. And because of doing so, well, you're in a position where you're not really able to see the bigger picture. You're kind of in a position where you're feeling somewhat stuck, mainly because of caring too much about a particular outcome. Becoming too mentally attached, wanting to be freed from a particular struggle, and really diligently trying to apply yourself, especially on the mental level, towards a specific outcome. And you're getting a little bit too caught up in the specific outcome itself. And due to that, you're likely not really feeling quite so happy with the outcome that you're achieving. And in addition to that, you're not really feeling quite as much as if luck is on your side today. It is the 6th day of the dark half of the moon, also known as Krishna Shashti, and the solar lunar yoga is Shubha. And due to those things, it's creating a feeling of feeling somewhat unlucky inside and not really happy and not really having the degree of luster with which to break through a particular blockage that you're attaining. And it might help to understand a little bit more about Uttara Ashadha in order to get a clearer picture of this. With Uttara Ashadha, the concept is one of universalisation. Now, what do I mean when I say that? Well, I mean seeing the bigger picture, right? I mean seeing the importance of the development of a particular chain of events for the greater purpose rather than just your fixed purpose or idea of how you would like to see things turn out. Now, occasionally, both of those things are one and the same. Well, actually, all the time, they're one and the same, right? Because even if you're making mistakes, even if you're struggling, and even if you're not having the outcome that you want, ultimately, on one level, that's the will of the universe too. And for some reason, that is serving a grander purpose, mainly for your own evolution. But when you begin to see the grander purpose or see how particularly a set outcome of events that may not be working in your favor may actually not be beneficial towards working out in your favor, then your scope of vision opens. And usually when that scope of vision opens, you're able to either see a way in which things can work out and serve things not only for the greater good, but also for your own good, because really when it boils down to it, the greater good and your own good are one and the same, right? So when it boils down to that, you should be able to find the solution. So it's a process of opening up. It's a process of awakening. But when your mind is set and when you're in a fixed way of looking at things, then you begin to kind of lose the will to struggle. And sometimes it's really good when you lose the will to struggle because you recognize that what you might be struggling against is actually you, right? And if you're struggling against you, what good is that going to serve? Right? So it's an opening of awareness eventually that helps you to see how things could move in a much more beneficial manner. And it helps you to see that even though you might find yourself in a position where you're having to make an adjustment here or two in your life, adjustment or two, I should say, here and there in your life. That doesn't make sense, did it? Having to make an adjustment here and there in your life, or an adjustment or two here and there in your life. And even though that may not make you feel quite so powerful inside of yourself because you don't really feel like you're directing the outcome, ultimately, making those concessions are things that are going to be beneficial to you and are going to be able to move the situation in a direction that is at least much more helpful. Now, this has just been a brief look at at the energy of the day in connection with where the moon is and planets relevant to it, right? If you'd like to know a little bit more about the personal impact either of the energy of the day or the energy of the cosmos in general, or if you're going through a hard time and just need a little bit of guidance, I do offer a vast range of astrological services, and they're available if you click on the link below in this YouTube video. It'll take you to a page where there's a description of each. Also, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube video yet, please consider doing so. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I should say. That way you'll receive regular updates every time a new video is released. If you've closed down the link to the astrological services page, I do want to point out as one last point that there is a link further down in the description area of the page. And there are person-to-person consultations available, personalized video reports, and also written reports. That's going to do it for your Vedic Lunar Scope for the 9th of May 2015. Until next time, I do hope that you'll take the very best care of yourself. Bye for now.